Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Tilton Talk Show. I'll just lower that down a bit. There's no Nick this evening, unfortunately. He's had some really bad news, basically. But we'll leave that for Nick to fill us in on maybe during the week. So, with us tonight, we've got Alan Watton.
Good evening.
And we've got myself, Chris Browne, and Craig Courtney.
Good evening, everyone.
Mark Meredith.
Evening all.
Paul Lipkiss.
Evening.
And some other bloke. Right then.
Good evening.
We've also got no Claire, who's off tonight, getting probably out of her brains.
I shall claim it's a school night, so she'll only be drinking green tea. Come on.
Yeah. Did she sign the form?
Oh, yeah. Multiple. Right then, I think we should get straight into it, Paul. Give us your opinions, one and all. That almost rhymes.
Yeah, so Saturday I thought we managed the game really well, actually, up until the second yellow card. I thought we were giving as good as we got, and we were picking them on the counter attack every now and again and creating good chances. And unfortunately, we just couldn't convert, could we? It wasn't our day in front of goal. And the positive is when you lose, sometimes it's about how you lose. And in recent years, and more often than not, we've experienced obviously losing games where we were by far the worst team. We didn't have a shot on. I remember us going through a phase of not having a shot on goal for 3 games. So we were creating, we were looking positive, and we were playing well. And when Oliver Burke goes through that once, he has to play Stansfield in there. He took a shot on, but he had to play Stansfield in. And Stansfield had a good shot as well very early on, which was well saved. And obviously Hogan on his double chance as well. On another day, one of these goes in, it's a different game. But for me, the second yellow was soft. I mean, there were so many soft, silly fouls and bookings given against us. So I think the referee must have had an agenda against us, definitely that, on Saturday, because some of the bookings were just ridiculous. And the same kind of foul was, the other way around. And he wasn't even speaking to their players, was he? It just didn't make sense. So, when you're up against that, and it's very much a home referee, wasn't he? And, he was a home Watford referee. And when you're up against that, it's obviously always going to be an uphill battle. But certainly when you go down to 10, that's what makes it even harder. And, leading up to the second yellow, obviously Buchanan's a little bit naive, but I think his mate threw him under the bus a bit there. I think Jordan James has got to get stuck in there. He's got to go for that ball and win it, because it was there to be won. And he just shied away from the tackle, in my opinion. And, he's got to, he's a good, don't get me wrong, the lad's got ability, but I just think he's got a bit to learn there. And the physical side of the game is obviously not a big part of the game now like it used to be. But when you've got a 50-50 ball in the air like that to be had, you can't just shy away from it and let your opponent have an easy ride, which he did. And that obviously then ultimately led on to Buchanan getting his second yellow card. So, and obviously the goals, I think obviously the cross for the first goal comes from Buchanan's side. So that's the first problem. Obviously, as soon as we lose Buchanan, that's the problem there. And then the second one was just bad luck when it deflection. And on another day again, that doesn't deflect off long and it goes straight into Ruddy's arms. But, it wasn't our day, but we move on to tomorrow night now. And, I still think it's a very decent start to the season. And there's still many reasons for us to be positive, more so than negative, Oh,
well, top 6 after this. I know it's early days, but you'd have bit anyone's hand off start. I know it's a cliche, you'd bit anyone's hand off start the season to be top 6 at this early stage.
You would, yeah.
Like you say, Paul, it was disappointing that James sort of pulled out like he did. I think it's a big season for him. I think, Job's had to move to Flourish, and he could fall in that camp, really. I think he's got to sort of, make a name for himself this season if he's going to progress with us. But I'd like to say, back to the game, we were minutes away from a really good draw. We've got a really bad record at Watford. So, it's awful. 26 visits and 4 or 5 wins. So it was always going to. It's one of them bogey grounds, but at some point you have to break your bogey team. But yeah, it didn't go for us. We've got to move on now. Really tough game tomorrow, and I'm still confident we can get something. I think we can get a point tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do we like Deion Sanderson's new song?
I heard that. Yeah. I like that.
Quality. I mean, you could tell it took off by how long it went on for, and it was as clear as anything on the radio and on the streams. I mean, he must love that though to have that on a constant basis. Boost.
Yeah.
But on the game as well, the other thing I think we should shout out was you know, you can get in that second yellow. Really, he knew what was coming. I was a little bit disappointed. I've got to say. And I've seen a comment very similar to what I was thinking, actually. Would have been better for JJ to have gone into the tackle, completely missed it, and got himself booked. Because the game would have stopped and then not gone down that particular side. But we also missed a lot of our own chances. But I've got to say, tremendous double save by the Watford keeper to actually keep them in it in the first place.
Save, yeah.
Both of them from Hogan. And yet again, what is it with our fans? You know, he didn't have a bad game. No. So yes, he missed a couple of chances, but nobody really went and was going to be scoring goals and goals and goals in the game. But he didn't miss the two. They were brilliant saves, but our fans still turned on him. And it's just, I just don't get where this Hogan hatred comes from. And it's, you know, you got to back the lad. Sooner or later, he's going to score. And when he goes on a run, and if we can get even 50% of what he was like, for example, when he was at Brentford, which I'm sure we can, he is a great player. But also, we've got some changes coming now, you know. Dukey will be back after this next game and gives a bit more competition. And I think sometimes you need that competition. Would I drop him? Yeah, I think he's a bench player. I also don't see him playing up front with Stansfield. They're too similar in some ways in terms of the runs that they make. But whereas Djukovic, he just gives them that different aspect and a different opportunity. But also, Stansfield, wow, what a turn and shot there. And again, it's great save by the Watford keeper. But
I don't think he touched it, Craig.
I thought he caught it just.
No, I don't think so. I think it clipped the outside of the post, didn't it? I think you might be right, but I'd have to see it again. But I didn't think he saved it. I thought it was. I didn't think he was like, you know, if he hadn't touched it, I don't think it would have gone in.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we didn't play badly on Saturday. We didn't deserve it. Watto, I know you'll come onto it, but, you know, it's just the standard of officiating needs looking at. And if that guy was to put that performance in the Premier League, he would not be refereeing the next game. And what I don't understand is the Championship is almost used as a penalty for not performing in the Premier League. Shouldn't be the case. You know, you perform badly no matter what league you're in, and you should not officiate the next games, and should be learning by mistakes, not giving out the volumes.
Question: do they, when a ref has a stinker in the Championship, does he get relegated to League One?
I don't think they do. Do they?
No.
I think it's taken.
Any referees left in the Championship if they did that?
Yeah. I mean, this is just you look at what they tried to do in the Premier League, and I do believe actually the standard of officiating in that league has got better. But that's because they've got the worry, for me, and the fear of VAR on their backsides. So if they make an absolute stupid mistake and VAR picks it up, then they get made to look very silly when they have to overturn their decisions. Yeah. We need that. As much as I'm not a massive fan of VAR, but I do believe it needs to be in the Championship. It's equally as important in that league as it is in the Premier League. You know, it can be the difference between promotion and £100 million or relegation and not getting anything the following season in the lower league. So why shouldn't it be there?
No, I don't blame the ref, obviously, on Saturday for the loss. Don't get me wrong, but
no, I don't.
It doesn't help when you're up against 8 yellow cards when probably, say, 6 of them or 5 of them at least were probably unfair, to be honest, weren't they? They were just silly challenges, and he was, you know, he couldn't wait to get his card out, could he? I think he must think it's nearly Christmas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, must be sponsored by Clinton's.
Go on, Al.
if you're the manager of our team on Saturday, if you've got a book, well, B-League, for example, like he got booked, and he was performing. After that, he committed a foul, and he was lucky not to get in light of what else went. He was lucky not to get a second, and he would have gone. And the manager knows that, and he thinks, I've got to make a substitution here. I'll take him off because he's been carded, and he's starting to get, make sure he plays the next game and take him off. Yeah. We got seven blokes on cards. You can't take them all off.
No.
No.
You're running the risk all the time. I mean, he booked somebody. He booked the right back, didn't he?
Browne
in the 5th minute. Now, if you start making those sort of decisions, and that was a nothing incident, and you're thinking, well, Mr. Stroud has decided that's the level he's going to referee at. And that niggling little, it should have been a finger wag. Hey, that's the end of that. Move on. But he stuck to his guns, and of course you end up with eight yellow cards against us. And okay, I think they had 2, didn't they? So that's 50% of the players on the field have been booked.
Yeah,
it's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous because you can't play the. You had a go at JJ for not going into the tackle. Well, he's probably thinking, I daren't get stuck in because who knows what this clown's going to do next.
That is true. Yeah.
And of course, I must admit, even with 10 men, I never saw them scoring. But as you say, had Buchanan been on the field, he wouldn't have allowed that cross to come across. Then it goes in. He hits the bloke on the back of the head.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what day it is. Hits him on the back of the head and crawls into the corner of the net. And you can't do anything about that, can you? That's just. And the second one was even luckier. Because I'm sitting in the exact position where I was to go, and I never stopped feeling comfortable. Okay, we're not going to win this now, but we'll take the draw. Yeah. And then the other thing is, we played 98 minutes in the second. We played 8 minutes over. We was only supposed to play 6, but we played 8. And that's creeping in. You look, there's a certain other team across the road scored in the 8th and 11th minutes of extra time, right?
Yeah.
And you look, I look at all the results and I look at the goal times, and a number of times you see 90 plus 4, 90 plus 5, 90 plus 6. What's going on?
It's every time the ball goes out of play, isn't it? Or there's any for whatever reason play stop, the referee actually on that.
That's fine, but why are these goals getting conceded in overtime? I mean, I'm trying to think. The Leeds winner was in overtime.
Tottenham
winner was in overtime. The Millwall goal was in overtime. Have we scored a goal in 90 minutes yet?
No.
And there's something going on in the game. Silly bookings, added time. Why don't they book? As soon as a goalkeeper picks the ball up, and instead of putting the ball down to the nearest spot and taking the goal kick, and he walks across the other side, booking. That puts an end to that. You're not going to send the goalkeeper off unless he does something really silly after that. But with that, you send a signal out, no more time wasting. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Instead, we get all these niggly things that really don't matter. Time wasting.
Yeah, I think
the bane of my life. I sit there at St. Andrews and think, oh, babe, I've come 200 miles. Get on with the game. Get on with the bloody game.
Yeah, I think for me, I would take Hogan out the firing line a bit tomorrow, and I'd like to see Stansfield through the middle on his own, with Bacuna behind him.
Yeah.
And then I'd maybe bring Miyoshi back in and put him down the right, and either Anderson or Burt the other side. I'd probably go Anderson again. And I'd like to see that, freshen it up a little bit. And I just think Stansfield looks like.
I think honestly though, I think you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I think honestly tomorrow you play 5 at the back. You bring Langello in at left back, like left wing back, because he's better wing back than he is defending.
He's not a defender.
And you bring the new centre half in they've just bought and play three centre backs, especially against Preston in the form they're in. I know it's an away game, go there and draw and then change it back on Friday when Buchanan's. We talked about it last week about having 3 games in 6 days, but the nice thing about that now is the disappointment from ending the game at Watford on Saturday. You've got a chance, 3 days later, 4 days later to put that right, and then you've got a chance again after this game, another 3 days later to go again. So, with Buchanan misses a game, but he misses tomorrow night, and then he's back available for Friday. So it's not a massive period of time that these players are sitting out.
No,
I think we have the squad for that now as well. I think we're still looking at Laird to come back and
Dembele
to come back. But right now, even though we may be missing a little bit of their talents, we still got players in there that can do a job. If I look back at playing Watford away for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been a hiding most of the time. We go there and don't expect anything. And I echo what Alan says. I watched the game Saturday. I didn't think we were going to lose it. The difference in the end. But the positive thing about it was we went there and I think it was a different atmosphere and everything around everything, from the fans singing the whole time, from what I could hear from TV, to the way the players played. I thought it was just a totally different environment that we were expecting, last year or maybe the year before at that game.
See, last season we went 5 at the back at Watford last season. I remember it, and we got absolutely hammered in the first half.
3-0, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think we were 2. Was it 2? Was it 2
at half time?
2-0. 2-0 at half time, and then he changed it from 5 at the back and went 4 and brought on a couple of subs, and we should have been 4-2 up after the first 15 minutes of the second half. But we just couldn't convert our chances. It's always the same old story, and we just struggle scoring goals, and that leads nicely on to me again, shouting out there to get James Beattie back on that training ground, working with our forward players. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I do honestly think it needs to happen. But have we got Djukovic back on Friday? I know he's. I think it's
Friday.
Friday. He misses out tomorrow, but back Friday.
Yeah, and I would hope that Laird and Dembele would be around. Probably more Friday than tomorrow, but
Friday,
at least if not Friday, the week after. So I think going into the following Monday, we should have everybody back, available. I would have thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, probably for the first time this season as well. I think Eustace had a little bit of criticism, did he, regarding the substitutes?
Yeah.
But again, it was like a meltdown. It's like a social media meltdown. He probably held his hand up, and said, "Yeah, I probably did get it wrong, but." We're still top 6 after 6 games, so can't be too harsh on him.
Listen, Alan made a good point as well with the bookings. It makes it hard. I'm the same as a coach. It makes it hard for you. You got to make decisions that you don't want to make because of that. You might be pulling somebody off to save him, but you might be putting somebody else in the firing line that you don't really need to be in the firing line. But it's part and parcel of the game. I've walked off the field loads of times and thought to myself, you know what? If I hadn't have changed that 10 minutes ago, maybe we would have got this and that. But it's all about if. And at the end of the day, you're making those split decisions. That's what you get paid for. Sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. So problem is with our fans, it's the same with the Hogan one. I don't know. I think over the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, getting those wins has put some false hope into some people. And then losing Saturday was like the end of the world again. I'm like, it's coming, guys. The loss was coming at some point.
Of course, yeah. We're not going to win every game.
Now it's the fact of how do we bounce back on Tuesday, and then how do we bounce back at home on Friday? Because at the end of the day, we all knew it was going to be there. How do we if we're 3 losses in a week, then now we've got to talk about it. But if it's 1 and we bounce back tomorrow and get a good draw or win, then you move forward.
Yeah, definitely.
The league is so well. actually for me is worse than last season. We started thinking that this was going to be a stupidly tough league to get out of, but actually what's now showing to me is that every team is capable of beating each other. I mean, I watched Leicester Southampton on Friday evening. Now, considering Southampton have just come down from the Premier League and were, I think second bookies favourite or second favourite to go up, they were terrible. They were dire. And
right,
Leicester,
that's 9 goals in 2 games for them.
We go on about Birmingham and everybody's panicking over the fact that we've lost the game. But I wouldn't want to be in their position. The fans turned on them as soon as that first goal went in. Yeah. And I know it was within, 22 seconds of kickoff, right? But they were against it straight away. And I've been looking at some of the comments on the message board, actually, and I think it's fair to say people are in agreement with the vast majority of comments that we've made so far. And Ray Hobro has said, if some buts, but if Stansfield have scored after a minute, it would have been an even more open game. So how would that have gone? And we forget about that, actually, that opportunity.
That was, to be honest, Craig, probably the best save that their keeper had made all afternoon, because that was a low and hard shot. It was low and hard, wasn't it?
If that had been Hogan with that same chance, and he'd have done the same thing, bloody good shot, great save, that'd have been on his neck.
Yeah.
Why don't we criticise? Why don't we criticise them all? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, Stansfield and Hogan both came as close to scoring as anybody on the field. One's a villain and one's a hero. Don't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to digress a minute and go back to last Tuesday night, Scotland v England. I think that is the best individual performance I've seen from an England player, probably since Paul Gascoigne.
Scotland in the 1996.
I mean, Jude in that game was just, I was purring watching him. He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
Stunning. He was absolutely stunning, wasn't he?
Incredible.
And what a comment at the end of it when he was asked what was the difference, and he just turned around and said, I wasn't happy with the way I performed. I mean, God, you don't hear that from players that have been in the game for 20 years, let alone as he's done for just a few in comparison.
Yeah.
And
I think his interview just made it, didn't it? Everyone talked about his interview more than they talked about his performance. He's just so humble in what he says and what he does. It's and it's crazy because he's 20 years old and he's got the world at his feet and he's still just as humble as anything else.
20. He's 20.
Just incredible, unbelievable performance. Honestly, I'm not just saying that because he's obviously one of us and all that. I suppose I am in a way, but he was just unplayable, wasn't he? He was so good.
And if you could choose an away game to do it in, it's either Scotland or probably Argentina. But in their backyard.
It reminded me of Paul Hipkiss on a Sunday morning playing for the local pub team. Actually.
Yeah, them days are gone now, Mark.
Yeah, seriously.
20 years ago.
You had to feel for Graham Souness because for that guy to sing the praises as he did of Bellingham, but the whole England side on that evening, you could tell he was angry. But I mean, he said himself, didn't he? He hadn't seen him play live. That
First time, yeah.
And what a player for him to come out of it. I mean, plaudits galore. But do you know what? We can say we've seen it. We've seen it coming.
Yeah.
What I'd love now is for every other England player that's been in that situation to come back and do it again. And everybody's gone on about Harry Maguire, and it's an own goal, but that could have happened to absolutely everybody. But he needs to come back and do a Bellingham now. He needs to come back and show.
He needs to move on. He needs a new club. He needs to get out of there.
Yeah, fresh start.
It's a disgrace the way people are acting around him. At the end of the day, he's playing for the country, and people forget so easily. We're talking about Hogan as well with us, but I thought Maguire in the last couple of tournaments was probably one of the best England players.
He was superb.
Always been. I've got the argument. Listen, Southgate picks players that sometimes people look at it and go, well, what's he doing in there? He's not playing for his club team and whatever else. He picks Maguire on the fact that he's always been very good for England, always.
Yeah.
Man United's got a lot to do with the stick that he's getting now, I think, and just everything around it. But again, an own goal, Harry Kane missed a penalty in the quarterfinal of a World Cup. Like, you're not booing that guy, but you're booing the guy that scored an own goal. It's just come off his foot. He's defended and it's come off his foot. So it's just, I don't understand sometimes where these fans get that public enemy, and then just it's just that all the time, and I don't even want Southgate to drop him. I want Southgate to put him back in the fire again, and I want Maguire to be able to prove that he's good enough to do it.
I just want him to get a new club, Mark, and play regular, because he's confident.
100%. No, 100%. I think he's got to.
He's just rotting away there, and he needs to move somewhere like West Ham, who wanted him. I don't know why he didn't go to West Ham. He probably would have been the best centre half there, him and Zuma, and he would have been performing regular, and that would have grown his confidence then to come in the England team and do well. And going back to Jude, though, I do think with the 2 6s, with the Phillips and Declan Rice, it just frees Jude up. Then it's to play that 10, and he's so good in that position. It's unbelievable, honestly.
On the message board, Brett Stanley has said they all laughed at Birmingham City when they retired the shirt over Jude. We've always known. Now they know.
Now the board knows, yeah.
And Ray Albright, what a great point he is. To be fair to Maguire, I don't think he's in a good club side. Controversy is just around every corner, and it's so true.
So true.
Back to the game and some of the comments around the team, actually. So, people's thoughts on this. Chris Rowe has said tomorrow night about a back three of Sanderson, Long, and Iwu. And I think
that's an interesting shout.
That's what Mike was saying there.
I've got Longello and the obviously the new boy from on the other side. Just play wing backs. I think you can only play Longello in the team if you play 3 centre backs. He just can't. He can't defend in a 4, but he will create going forward, and he'll get those crosses in that we still need for obviously. And I'd do the same as you guys. I'd bring Bakuna back. I'd play the 5 at the back, and I'd leave Bellick and Sonic as the 2 6s. Give Bakuna a free role then, just behind Stansted and Stansford and Anderson for me. I think, I think those 2 up there, and then just let the fullbacks get high. And I think with Anderson and Stansfield, we'll create in there. And Bakuna's always going to get you a little bit as well, as from an attacking midfield point of view. He's very good with the ball. He's going to have shots. I hate 5 at the back, don't get me wrong. We talk about it all the time. We've been talking about it for years, but I just think there's games and opportunities where you can do it. And I think this is a big one. We've got McCannon out.
Have we not got another natural left back in the club anywhere? I mean, is any of the does Iwu not play? Can
Iwu can play there as well, but then for me, you're putting a centre half at left back, and you're risking him just playing out of position where you can just put Longello in and have that little bit of stability on that side. And I think then with Long, Sanderson, Ayew, Bellick, and Sunic playing down the middle, man, that's 5 strong defensive players there. Like, you should be allowed to then let Longello have more of a free area, because he's going to get caught out defensively.
Yeah, he's not a defender at all, is he?
I pull Buchanan straight back in Friday. Regardless of what the result is. Friday at 4-4-2, not 4-4-2, but I mean, go back to 4 at the back and bring him back in. And then obviously if Lairds is fit, you bring Laird straight back in as well. That's your back 4.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new kid play. Obviously, none of us have. But for me, Long and Sanderson have had a decent start to the season. So I would only add Io or Roberts in if I was going to play 3 straight centre halves.
Yeah.
What do we think of Ollie Burke's performance on Saturday?
I thought he did okay. He got his head down. Any trees up.
I say he didn't pull any trees up from what the bits that I saw, but give him a chance. It's his first game, isn't it?
I liked it when he was pushing forward on the ball. Taking it on as he did on a couple of occasions with some great mazy runs. There was one where I thought if he'd have just given the ball to Stansfield, we'd have been well away.
Yeah.
But then it's his first game, and the other thing is, I mean, they haven't really been together. The international break, we still had players around and out and about, so you've got to give him a chance to settle in. But I think, all in all, steady start, and I think he'll come on better, and I think time will tell. That's the only thing you can say, and same with Ira, really. Time will tell. When he gets in the side, we've got to be in a position to say we're just gonna push on. You don't want to upset the apple cart, because the defence actually still one of the strongest in the league. Despite we just conceded 2 goals, we're still one of the strongest in the league. So let's see how things.
Look at the situation we're in now. We're sitting here and we're talking about who can come in, and we got 5 centre backs. We've got 5 or 6 different midfielders. We've got 3 or 4 strikers now. Cool. Rewind 12 months and we were struggling to have a team. So
scratching our heads.
It's unbelievable that we can sit here and go, right, we should play so and so and so and so and so and so, and it's great. I think the competitiveness now in training and stuff, and just having that. Whisper in your ear that if you don't perform, then the next person's coming in. It can only help as the season goes. Hopefully we don't get too many injuries, because we've had bad luck with that already this year. And we are still a thin squad, and we still don't have a lot of money to deal with in January. But again, I think right now, positively, with the squad we have, is, for me, one of the best in the Championship on paper.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, once we get Dembele and Laird back, you can tell when them two are in the team, we're a different team, aren't we?
Absolutely.
We look better with those. They're definitely 2 of our best players, aren't they? Those 2.
Yeah, I mean, and God knows when we see Tyler Roberts again. Because,
I forgot about
does anyone know anything, any timelines or anything? Because
I don't think he's far away.
Yeah, he's out for a while. Hall's out for a while. So we've got some good ones coming back. But all the way through the team now, even the goalkeepers, we managed to keep ready. For me, Everidge is still a Championship goalkeeper, even though he's not playing. There's not another team in the league that have got 2 goalkeepers of that ability for this division. I don't think.
No. Kind of like the Championship version of Arsenal, aren't we, in that respect? With 2.
Steady, Paul. Steady.
Yeah. I've got about 2 keepers that easily play, because obviously Raya came in yesterday, didn't he, for Ramsdale, and I wouldn't be moaning if Everidge came in for Ruddy either, because you could quite easily see that change.
Absolutely.
But now I think, like you say, Mark, we've got the strength in depth now. And we've easily got a player in every position that can come in and cover the one that usually starts, no problem at all. And that sort of sets you up well, doesn't it, for a 46-game season?
It doesn't. We only loan 2 players as well. We don't have the 5 or 6 struggling with last year, won't we?
Hang on, people are laughing at me here. Championship version of Arsenal. Arsenal 6th in the Premier League and we're 6th in the Championship.
There you go, mate. You've done well.
That's probably the only comparison.
And we're both a building project. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, Paul,
we just need Thierry Henry up top now, and we'll be.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Lenny Henry.
I was just making the comparison with 2 easily startable goalkeepers. That was all. No other comparison whatsoever other than that.
Paul, I'm with you, man. Team hip kiss for me on this one.
Oh God.
I just put a bit of a downer on this discussion. Yes, we've got a great squad, but there's 5 people tomorrow not available for various reasons. And yes, because we've got a big squad and it's now a good squad, we'll go in tomorrow not expecting to lose, certainly, and we've done all right at Preston. As you say, as Mark said, if we go back 12 months and if we'd have lost 5 key players in our squad last year, we wouldn't have been going to Preston with any hope at all, or Watford for that matter. So there is a difference, but it's just I'm just frustrated myself that we can't pick from those 20 players every week.
100%.
No. Well, that's it.
You're thinking if we'd have had all our players fit, we'd have won every game so far. But that's not true either. You look at the 2 we've drawn. probably with a full squad, we'd have won those. We certainly wouldn't have lost on Saturday. So, you know, we'd have been undefeated with 5 wins and a draw. Who knows? But it is frustrating, especially when we talk about, or the manager does talk about how wonderful the backroom staff are and the medical team and all the fitness people we've got there. And he ticks their box every week. Yet we've still got 5 players. Okay, 2 of them are suspended. Can't do anything about that. But the others, Dembele, God, what a start he had. Injured.
Yeah. I think what you're saying there, Al, about 5 players, I think there's also only 5 players left in the squad from the previous ownership as well.
Yes.
Really?
That speaks volumes, that does.
That speaks volumes. I think you got Sunic, Djukovic, Gary Gardner,
Robert.
Well, crikey.
and Roberts. Yeah.
Ray Hobro's made a great point here, and I tell you what, I totally agree with this. And he said, I don't think we've played our best side yet. If you think about everybody not being available, and
Yeah, I suppose you're right, yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I still think, and in fact, I was asked, you know, this on WM, do I think there's still more to come? And yes, I do. I think we're still early days into the season, and we haven't played some of the players we've brought in yet. We haven't had the opportunity to see them all together on a prolonged period of time. And coming back to what Alan just said there, you know, these suspensions, the injuries, they haven't really helped us, because when we first started, the Laird and Dembele side of things in the squad seemed to be giving us that little bit extra as well in terms of gelling and moving forwards. And we've missed that since they've both been out. I do question though, without Duke in the team, would it have made a difference? Because I still the most natural header of a goal, ball in the game for me at the moment, especially in our team. But yeah, it's an interesting point. What's everybody else's thoughts? You know, do you think there's still more to come?
I think
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say we're experimenting, but we still haven't found our groove yet, have we? No, I mean, I think there's more to come. I think there's physically more signings to come as well.
I think we should be happy with where we are now. I think we should be happy with where we are now under the circumstances. And
Absolutely.
I think we've got strength in depth, like Mark said earlier. And yeah, I think this season, I'm not going to sit here and say playoffs, but I've got no relegation concerns, put it that way, touch wood.
I know it sounds
big time for us. Sorry, I said Christmas is going to be the big time for us, because we talk about that every year, you know. Like, if you remember back last year, we started off really well, and then after the World Cup, it went wrong. And we have talked about us being in a better position this year, and I do agree with that. But I think Christmas, when the games step up again, we need to have those players fit, and we need to change the team around a little bit, especially with the squad that we have. Because when you're playing, 5 games in space of 12 days or whatever, and you've also got your Christmas celebrate and everything else that goes with it, it's always the toughest time of the year anyway. And I think that'll be the real proving point for us this year. I think that's where it either goes up or down in regards to what results you get in those 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year, before you get into the FA Cup and stuff like that. So I'd like to see, hopefully, the treatment table's a little bit emptier when we get to that. We talk about the 2 suspensions. For me, watching both of them, I don't think either of them are red cards. And the second yellow card was, probably poor for Buchanan. And then I still don't think Dukey's was a straight red in the cup game. But, it's what it is. We take it, and they miss the games. I was shocked at that time that we didn't even appeal against Djukovic's the day after. We decided to give him 3 games, and he's back on Friday, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll stay fit and healthy. And we've got another striker in there, because I still think we're probably 1 striker away from, scoring a few more goals. And, again, I don't want to talk negative on a positive start to the season, but as we mentioned earlier, Alan mentioned, every goal we've scored has been in the last 2 minutes of the game. There's not been one yet, and I think we're capable of it, of blowing a team out 3 or 4-0, and it being a game all the way through.
What about Bristol City, though?
We scored at Swansea in normal time, didn't we? And also
Bristol City.
And Plymouth. Hogan scored against Plymouth in normal time.
First goal against Bristol was in injury time and half time.
All right.
Miyoshi's one.
Yeah.
He's in injury time at half time.
I think I mean it as listen, we're winning games, which is fine. I just mean that I think there's something in there that we're going to go out there and blow a team away. You know, be 3-0, be 3-0 at half time and be comfortable.
Yeah.
The problem is with Blues, and it's never changes, is when we do get a goal, we sit back then for the next 15, 20 minutes and try and soak pressure up. And half of the time that catches us out. It's big for us to be able to continue the same tempo throughout the game, especially now with what we've got on the bench. Because I look at the bench now and I'm excited. I'm actually excited that some of the changes he can make, especially when Jude comes back and especially when Laird comes back and people like that. He's got strong substitutions as well, all the way through from goalkeeper all the way up to forwards. And I think that's going to make a difference at some point during those, long months where we've got more and more games coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Paula Roberts as well. We've not seen anything of him yet, really.
No.
He's another addition through the middle.
And also, Paul, we've got Junior Dixon as well. Nobody's really mentioned him. He's scoring for fun for the reserves.
In the 21s, right? And
you got Collins. You got Collins lad as well, ain't you? Frank Tatum as well, who's banging goals.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's knocking him in for fun, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I just think we've talked about young players before. I think it's the wrong time to bank on that type of player right now, certainly for the future. But you could we keep sending Josh Andrews away on loan, and Josh keeps scoring goals wherever he goes. Is he a championship player? I don't know, but I think the experience he's getting away from us will only help if we do decide to keep him in the future. The Cosgrove one in the end. Cosgrove's had to go. He kept coming back. He didn't get a chance. He kept going out. You know, championship's not his league, and we've seen that over the years he was here. I think we made the right decision with him. But I would love to still see, a free transfer or a loan striker come in, just to give us that one extra to what we have.
Yeah, we made the wrong choice there, didn't we? Because we went for Nisbet as well, didn't we, at that time when we got Cosgrove? He's banging you in for Millwall. You know, we could have. I think he even handed in a transfer request, didn't he? If I remember.
He did.
Or was it Motherwell?
Motherwell,
yeah.
Dave Taylor said, we've got to look at it. It's been a superb start. And I should say, before reading the rest of this, Dave, fair play and congratulations on raising the additional cash down at the game as well for the Justice for 21. So
just going to mention that. It was well done, Glenn and Ian, who did the walk from Brum to Belfast. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, lads.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And what Dave said is, once everyone is fit and we can play our best 11, then we'll get a good idea of what actually is possible. Plus, there's room for investments and additions in January if required. It's refreshing that we've now got positive thoughts rather than relegation fears and KRO. And it's so true. I mean, I can't say we didn't talk about this time last season because we were having a similar sort of run at the start leading up to the World Cup. But there is this big difference this time around, and that's we do have the strength in depth. Something that I couldn't name the last time. In fact, question to everybody, when was the last time that you could think we could actually name 2 players for every position where we didn't have fear about one of them not being around? Because I couldn't say the last time.
Yeah, it's probably Premier League, the Premier League squads, right?
It could be.
I don't think it's been...
Maybe last season in the Prem.
It could be. Yeah.
2011. Before, really, to think how much we have been in the doldrums, but actually now, how much of a difference we have got.
When you think back, we were worried about Cliftonvale getting injured, weren't we, not so long ago, because then Doyle was coming in.
Yeah.
That seems a different world away now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, going back to...
I remember Darryl Powell playing centre midfield a few years ago.
Yeah. That was in the Prem days,
Yeah. It makes me think of Enkelman Day, he does, because he was on the bench, wasn't he? Like celebrating.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get him coming on the show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd come on, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Well, proper draw, a real right audience, that one would, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Can you imagine?
I can't believe I can't believe
One of the earlier comments was, can we squash the Neil Warnock rumour?
Yeah, I can officially squash it and say that he is definitely leaving Huddersfield after tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
There you go. There's no more rumours to be had.
No.
He is going.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
he's leaving, but he's not. He's definitely not coming to us. That's for sure.
no. The thing is,
and
in
I
football,
honestly don't
never
think you'd- I
never say
honestly don't
never.
think he'll go into management. You know.
Never say never.
Yeah.
Where do you reckon Warnock will go? Do you reckon he'll knock it on the head? Or do you reckon he'll just...
No.
I think so. I think he's
No, he's-
well, you never say never, do you? Don't know.
No,
He
the
might
way-
pop
the
up
way-
somewhere else.
The way he was talking
Yeah.
today, he was saying, "Oh, I'm not finished. I've actually now got the bug."
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
he
is
said
he
today.
leaving then?
I
I know,
don't know.
it's weird.
I don't
Is
know.
it something
Weird
happening
one.
in the scenes for sure?
Maybe he thinks
Yeah.
he's
Maybe
mean,
you should go in there.
Oh, no.
never say never.
Don't start them rumours.
To be fair, though, it was interesting to see Bowyer pop up a Montserrat, wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
if Warnock's leaving Huddersfield, I hope Rooney goes there.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
great shout, actually, yeah.
well, Adam
That's a
Rooney.
good one.
Just
Let's start the
away
rumours
from-
now.
Can I
away
just
from
say as
Warnock-
well,
Go on,
Go
go
on.
can I just say, sorry, can I just say as well, I'm shocked how many people on social media think Montserrat's a club.
It's a singer, isn't it?
Is it not?
Mark, I'm shocked by the amount of people that are saying you've dyed your beard. So please,
I haven't dyed it, it's the shadow on.
definitely.
I haven't dyed it, honest.
Yeah, look at
It's still
mine.
a,
Looks grey. Mine does.
just for men.
Gonna say it's borderline Noel. That's borderline Noel Edmonds, isn't it? We'll have to start a new game next week. Deal or no deal.
Yeah,
We'll have to
deal or no
lose.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Mark Adams, this is. I mean, how did it feel knowing that your favourite player scored his first goal for Manchester United and celebrated as though he won the World Cup? But,
Well-
were you pleased for him, Mark? I mean, what score did you give him out of 10 for that one?
He had a Mark Adams t-shirt on when he took his shirt off. Did you not see that?
yeah, he had a
I
picture of
love
my
the
face
road,
saying,
that's
why
what I
always
saw.
me? No, I'm pleased with that. I mean, you know, you over the last couple of years, I've always rated him.
I've always loved him.
Pleased for the lad. Great finish, and I wish to God we'd have kept him. But no, he did. I mean, it was, to be fair, like, you know, the game was lost, but, you know, it was a good finish and fair play to him. I didn't think he'd feature much for Man U, so it seemed score was a bit of a shocker. So, I had a little cry.
I thought it was 0-0. I thought it was 0-0 when he scored the way he celebrated.
Yeah, I know, to be fair, yeah. Do we think he's got a future at Man U, though?
Yes.
You think he has?
At the moment, he can't be any worse,
yes.
can he?
No.
There you go. That's where Warnock's going. Then we now know he's going to Man U.
I think looking at Brighton though, you know, just looking at Brighton, I mean, wow, the football they play, they gave them a footballing lesson on their own turf, and for us, you know, and they're a similar sort of. I mean, we're a bigger club, we've got a bigger fan base than Brighton, and you know, that's the bar I think for our
That's
new
the
owners.
template,
Yeah, exactly. I'd be setting that as the bar to try and achieve in the next sort of 3 to 4 years if we can.
Or even Brentford.
Well, even Forest as well. Now Forest are flying, and they stayed up for probably the last game of the season last year, the last but one game.
Yeah.
Now they're looking at, if they win tonight, they'll be in the top 6.
Yeah.
So it's changed around. But talking of results, I think this is a harder conversation for us. I was going to mention the ladies because it's been a tough start to the season, and we've talked about how much positive we've been with the men, but for me, I'm disappointed in the ladies because I was sat here 5 weeks ago thinking we would storm that league, and now we're probably 12 points behind the leaders.
So
I was there yesterday. It was a shame. It really was, because in the first half we absolutely lost the first 35, 40 minutes of the game, and they had opportunities. Similar to the men, really. Actually, you know, it's scary, but just couldn't put them away. The first yellow card for Jade Pennock, was a yellow. It was a foul. She knew what she was doing. That was fair play. That one was deserved. The second one, I still can't get my head round because there was no intention of booking her until the Tilton players surrounded the referee. And then all of a sudden it changed. And then it was, here's the yellow card. Now, if we were watching that in the Premier League, and even in any league now, the rule is that if you surround the referee and you argue with the ref, you're the ones that get into trouble. You're the ones that get booked. So that didn't help. What it didn't show very clearly on the footage is that leading up to the mistake by Lucy Thomas and the slip, there was actually a foul on Louise Quinn on the line. So it should never have got to that position in the first place, and that was missed. But then in the second half, when we lost Jade, the actual commitment within the team was superb, and we're just not getting the rub of the green. And after the game, I stayed, and daughter had a few photographs with the players. It's great the way they do it. They actually come into the stand and mix with the fans. It's absolutely awesome. And I got a chance to actually have a chat with Christy Murray, and I just said to her, you didn't deserve that. She was like, we're not getting the rub of the green, but also we're building. We're still a team that's coming together. And Mark, I think they can turn it around. I really do, but I fear for Darren Carter. I'm not going to lie. New owners.
That was my question.
It's such an impact in the American game as well, because we've got one of our directors has a team in the American League. They're going to want to continue and move things forwards, and I do fear for him if things do not turn around. Yeah. But the one thing I can say is the players are behind him. The passion of some of the players as they left the pitch. Some people would argue and say they should have come and spoken to the fans, but I could see the anger and the frustration in some of them. So, I like that. I like that passion. Huge shout out to Remy Allen. She was like a workhorse in midfield. Sniffed out absolutely everything. Had a great chance. Unfortunately, slipped as she was just about to put away a decent volley. But they just don't deserve it. They're not getting a rub of the green, and it will come.
I think the only issue you face is sorry, Greg. The only issue you face is the league. Obviously, the league ruling around just having one team go up.
Yes,
it makes it hard. It makes it hard for Carts, and it makes it hard for the girls. But you could because we did last year. I think we deserved to go up last year after finish at the end of the season, and we missed out by 3 points because of our earlier performances. And my biggest worry is now with the new owners as well, and wanting so much success on the women's side, and with Hope Powell now coming in as well, that they're not going to give Carts too long, because they're going to want to change that around quickly because of the fact that they're maybe 9 to 12 points behind that leading team now, and that's 4 wins. So I hope it doesn't. I love him being there, and I think it's great. He's great to be a part of the club still, but I just for me, I think they're gonna pull the trigger at some point and try to bring somebody else in and see how it goes from there.
I think the other thing I will say is, everybody's got an opinion on the ladies' game and everything else at the moment, and we value everybody's opinion in terms of what's going on. But I'd have loved to have seen, and still would love to see, more people down there supporting the ladies. Yesterday, it was up until, about 5-10 minutes really before kickoff, it was like a ghost town in St Andrews. And actually, we've got 13,000 season ticket holders. Every season ticket holder has a free ticket.
Yeah.
Right? Against Liverpool, at the start of the season, a pre-season friendly, when the whole thing was free to get into, we had 2,500 people down at St Andrews to back the ladies. Mm-hmm. We haven't been anywhere near like that since. And that's disappointing in a way, because if you don't go, get a ticket to somebody else. Let's try and get, and I will say it's probably more the kids. We do have fans that are never going to go down, but it's good to get the families down there. It was a family atmosphere yesterday, and the stuff the club are doing and the community work outside the ground was absolutely superb. You felt welcomed as soon as you got there. It was great to be involved. they do a wicked little thing with there's a guy who walks around with the camera and he's interviewing fans, but it's the kids. You know, it's getting the kids involved, so they get interviewed and on the big TV screen. I think it's absolutely superb.
Yeah.
More of that and the continued side of it will attract more people down there, but we do need more people to come and support the ladies. And
Craig,
I'd like to.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Richie's asking, can we just go down and show our season ticket to get in?
So it's not like that, unfortunately. However, it was so easy. So Saturday, you know, give you a guide, Saturday evening, that's when I decided I was going to go down with my daughter. 9 o'clock Saturday evening, I just logged on to the Blues website, onto the ticket office, put in that I wanted to go to the game. It then came up with the zero cost, and literally it's a digital ticket emailed to you straight away. Perhaps it's something that the club could look at, and I know we do get people listening in from the club on the show, and we'll also put that feedback to them, because I do think that's a good idea. Turn up with your season ticket and be able to get in.
It's got to be an easy way, hasn't it? It's got to be.
For me, though, I think the way the ladies' game is building, and again, this is a league thing and not a club thing, but I feel why the ladies' game is building in England. I would put the games on after, straight after the men's game, while people are already there at St Andrews.
I was just going to say. That.
For me, if you've travelled, if you've been out all day drinking and you've been to the men's game on Saturday, then some days you're not going to get up on a Sunday and go to. And that's not disrespect to the women. Yeah. That's both ways. You're not going to spend your whole weekend at St Andrews for 2 games. I think if the game finishes at 5. The women start at 6.
I think that's a great.
I really do think you get a lot more staying. I think people would go out maybe to the George for another beer and then come back into the game again. Yeah. I just think that having it over 2 days sometimes just spoils people's weekends when they're working all week, you know. And then obviously as well, I hate to say it, but you're coming up against, 4 or 5 Sky TV games on a Sunday that people stay at home and watch.
You got to get a pass there,
right or wrong. That's the fact of it right now.
Yeah, we do it your way, Bob. We've got to get a pass out then for 8 hours on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, you got all Sunday to make it up, though, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true.
I've always found 1 day's better than 2 in my marriage, but I don't know. Everyone's different, right?
The thing is,
Craig, did I also see like bumper cars and the penalty shootout thing in the car park as well?
Yeah, they did. They did all events, didn't they?
So they had a DJ outside. They had so this is just yesterday, and they do loads of things each game. So all the kids turning up got given flags and posters, so that you could take those in and get them signed afterwards by the players and stuff. There was a DJ outside. Yesterday, we also had a company that were promoting healthy eating, and they had 2 pedal bikes, and you made your own smoothies. It's just pedal the bike to make your smoothie. There was bumper cars outside. Penalty shootout thing was absolutely superb. It's just you go in and put yourself as the goalkeeper, and it's people firing the ball at you and stuff. So what they do to get people there is superb.
That's
really
is. That's a great idea. The thing is, Craig, as I was saying earlier, Craig, you're still not going. Even if you had the game after the main game, I still don't think you're going to get the old guard. They're not going to stay. And therefore, it's got to be the kids. They've got to get the kids involved. I mean, the tiny kids.
I mean, I know the club do so much. I was speaking with a couple of people outside yesterday to find out they give away tickets. So if there's people listening and you've got football teams, you want to get them down there, right? It doesn't cost anything. Get in touch with the club. They have a ticketing scheme where tickets can be given to you. There was a group of young girls there yesterday who they were outside. They'd come down with a manager. They were getting involved. When they got inside, Jake Malbassa, who was there, got them on the pitch as the flag bearers, right? So they've got this wicked experience of not only going to the game, but being there on the pitch when the teams come out. I have asked the question around, why can't we either play a ladies' game before or even after a men's game? And it's down to the logistics of the whole thing and the way the stadium is monitored and obviously controlled from a footfall perspective on one front, but also there's then the security and things that have to be taken into account. I believe that Sunderland did it last season, and it proved worse doing it that particular way around.
Did Sunderland do it as a one-off? Or was that a regular thing?
No, they did it as a one-off, just to trial how it would work, and it didn't, unfortunately. But what I will say is, there's also, and Mark, you make a great point around the leagues, right? So when you sit down and look at the televised games that happen for the Women's Super League and the involvement that's there, they do get thousands of fans, but you are talking about the Arsenals, the Chelseas. I hate to say it, but our friends over the other side of the city, they have taken strides ahead of us. And in terms of getting people to go to the ground, are ahead of us from those points. We can do it. We've proven it once before. We don't go and win the FA Cup when you haven't, if you haven't been a decent side. You don't get in a Champions League, as Birmingham did, if you haven't got a decent side. So the good times can come back. We do need the support, and please, if you can, get down there. There's a couple of games coming up. The 8th of October is the next home game in the league. We then have a midweek game on the 11th. So, both of them opportunities to go and support the ladies. I've seen a couple of comments actually around the new players and how did they get on. So Ivana, who is our Brazilian signing on the last day of the women's transfer market, yeah, she did really well, actually. Considering there's only a couple of days involved with the club, did very, very well indeed. I think there's an awful lot to come from her. We didn't see the two Koreans, but I think it was because it was pretty late on when they did sign. But there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of good aspects in that team. When they do gel, somebody is going to take a spanking in that league. There's absolutely no doubt in it. It's going to come sooner rather than later. And Mark Meredith, totally agree. Please, let's give Carts a chance. Let's hope we can turn this around. He was equally as frustrated and actually ended up getting booked himself yesterday.
He's a passionate guy.
With passion, yeah. And it was passion that got him booked because he was so frustrated with a decision that he maved off, and the ref had no hesitation whatsoever in walking over and just straight away the card. But consistency again of the standard of officiating. A referee, and I think this has been mentioned before, but a referee in the Championship is not professional for the ladies. No. So how can we expect things to be getting better if we haven't got professional people in the game? Give them an opportunity to become professional, to improve how things go on, and also bring the consistency in. There are people watching the standard of officiating as you do in all the other football games, but that's got to be acted upon, and we need to see a difference in there to take things forwards.
But sorry, go on now.
They got the lady on Sunday is a Football League official.
Really?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I would not, and I'm sorry.
Than most of them, anyway.
I would not have put her, honestly, in a Football League position.
Well,
not at all.
She is.
Yeah. We got a new game, haven't we? There's a new game that's producing this week, and obviously those of everyone that's familiar with Squad Game, it's like Squad Game, but with a twist, isn't it? So it's called Squad Number Game, where basically
a really good name.
Yeah, so Squad Number Game, basically where
a lot of thought went in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God,
loads of preparation behind the scenes going on in this show. So Craig, you've obviously got. I hope you have. Anyway, now I'm bigging you up. I hope you've got some squad numbers from some seasons, and we've got to try and guess the player or get what players they are. So what's going to happen is Craig is going to say a season and the squad number. You can't give any more clues, i.e. the kit or where we finished in the league or anything like that, other than the season and the squad number. Based on that, we have to try and name the player.
I have. And
Go, Craig.
Thank God for that.
Squad for squad name game.
Squad number game.
Squad number game. Get there in the end.
Game squad.
It's 2015, 2016.
Okay.
And
Are we doing? Are we going head to head? Is anyone going head to head with each other?
The panel today, yeah.
I think we've got to go. Well, who's? I'm trying. It's strange, isn't it? I'm trying to think of the most intelligent person in our entourage, and I can't think of one.
I can't take
They're not on tonight.
Claire's not here, is she? We're missing her.
No.
That's the problem.
Claire's got the brains.
Pull her up.
I think let's just see how many Paul Hippies can actually get.
Oh, me? Is it all down to me?
It's got to be all down to you.
We can help each other, right?
No pressure, but my first number for that season was number 32.
2015-16.
Yeah.
Wow.
15-16, number 32.
Yeah.
God, I think anybody can go for this then, can't they? Come on.
Oh, 32, 15-16.
32.
You asked for me to make it hard.
Oh, yeah, you can't say, like, 6, can you, because it's Cliftonbelt, and you can't say, like, 9, because it's probably Donaldson, and do you know what I mean? You make it too easy, then it gets silly. But
Yeah, that's much too easy, that is.
Both of them, right?
I reckon
So easy.
I reckon I might have it. I'm going to give Paul a guess first.
Whoa.
I'm going to have a go. I could be wrong, but I'm going to have a go at Kyle Lafferty.
Can I play?
It's not my ball, mate.
It ain't my ball. Go on then, Mark. Have a go.
All right then. James Vaughan.
No.
Ooh, come on, Mark.
Ryan Shotton.
What was that, Mark?
Ryan Shotton.
That is correct. Good.
Wow.
Yeah, nice one, Mark.
Oh, what's going on there?
Right.
Great knowledge.
God.
And, out of that same season, number 24.
Ooh.
24.
Was that the season that we had the stripe, the diagonal stripe on the kit?
Was
The
indeed.
Thunderbirds one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Clue.
Yeah, 24. The chat box is very quiet. I don't think any of our viewers know these.
No, they're not clever. They're not clever enough for that. I mean, Michael Woods is on. Come on.
You know what though? I actually know who it is, but I'm not going to share it.
You've made it too easy, Claire.
How do you know these things, Mark? Are you on Google there or something?
Yeah.
Go for it, Mark.
I know this one because he was in our academy with us before we moved into the first team, so I remember seeing his shirt. But I'll leave it to you first, Paul.
Wasn't Wes Harding, was it?
No.
No. It was before Wes.
Well, Stav's going for Novak.
No.
That was 12.
No, is it End the Misery, Craig?
Was it Callum Riley?
Davy
It's
Davies.
not Callum Riley either, no.
Or Davy
Callum
Davies.
Riley.
No.
I reckon 24. I'm just trying to visualise who had 24.
And he's an academy, ex-academy.
He came through an academy, yeah. He wasn't with us for long, but...
Correct.
But then he came back.
No, he hasn't been back.
Oh, okay. He hasn't been back.
I just remember I remember the shirt, the actual picture of him holding his shirt because he was one of our academy graduates.
Wow. No, I don't know. No idea.
It was
24.
also a player that, as a club and as fans, we thought he was going to go a long way with us.
Right. Not Jack Storer, is it?
No.
24.
Arthur
Ex-academy.
says round-headed moron.
Reece Browne.
No.
What was that, Chris?
Arthur?
It is Kobe Arthur.
It is Kobe
Ah,
Hart, yeah.
That's a good one,
no,
Chris.
no, sorry.
Chris
sorry.
is definitely Googling
No. I must give that to round-headed moron on YouTube. Well done.
Round-headed moron on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that's his name. Yeah.
Hey, superb.
He's in there.
That's brilliant.
Well done, mate.
Kobe
Well
Arthur,
done. Well done.
And then
Well done,
the
Adam.
final one that I've got, and sticking with this squad because I was quite intrigued around the players and how many we get. But the last one out of all of that was number 30.
Number 30. Right.
Oh, that was. I think I know that was.
Please, no Googling. It is only a bit of fun.
Is it Will Buckley?
Well, good knowledge. It is Will Buckley.
Oh, well done.
Well,
Straight in there.
Go on, sir.
Whoa.
There you go. I had to get at least one mark.
He came back. Yeah.
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 I think your crown has slightly slipped there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Chris, you had a stinker really. To be
Really
fair,
stuck
I'm
for
going to get relegated to the Championship.
That's right.
So here's a good one for you then. There was a squad number that was actually used twice in that same season. What number was it, and who were the players?
Oh God.
Oof.
It wasn't the goalie. It wasn't Lesdans, was it?
No, it wasn't the goalkeeper. I'm interested to see if anybody gets this on the shout box as well.
No, it's gone quiet.
It was it must have been a lone player then, mustn't it? If they used it twice.
What year was it
Yeah.
again, Craig? What year?
2015, 2016.
Oh, right.
And for those people that asked, yes, it was the blue strip with the diagonal white stripe, and we had the German kit as our away kit. But there was a squad number that was used twice. What number was it, and who was it?
Carol Sandland's gone for Zigic. And
Great question, Alan. You got any idea? Al?
Well, I'm thinking, I can't think who.
Damari.
The Irish player, the midfield player.
Gleeson.
Nicholson. Ferguson.
No,
Gleeson.
it's not Gleeson, no.
Nicholson, Ferguson, Gleeson. How many we got?
I thought you were talking about golfers then.
Yeah, seriously.
I thought he was playing squad.
Well, the
game.
Ryder Cup was
I
starting.
was going to say, naming the Ryder Cup squad.
Oh no, this has got everybody. I think.
Wouldn't have been Damari Gray, would it?
No, it wouldn't be Damari. I don't think it's. Oh, is it Damari Gray?
No,
Is it
Damari was 7. Didn't Damari wear 7?
33.
For a little bit, but then he moved, didn't he?
Is Carol Sandland right, Craig?
Have a look. I can't see Carol's
she
message.
says
It
Zigic.
hasn't come through.
Zigic and Josh
It's
Martin.
not Zigic, no.
No, he'd have gone.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Was it number 7, Damari Gray, and then was it Tesh after?
It was
Yeah,
number
Robert
7.
Tessie.
Number 7, yes.
Damari wore it.
Was
Damari wore it for a little
Gray.
bit.
Was Fabrini.
Browne.
That's indeed. So yes. So that same season.
I'm back at the. I'm back
You've
up to the
got back.
Premier League.
You've gone back up a little bit
Back
there.
up there.
Yeah. You must
Yeah,
have
back.
So Damari and Fabrini.
Yeah. So for people that maybe wanted to know, so you had Damari who made 22 appearances during that time, wearing number 7, and then you had Diego Fabrini who then went on to make 7 appearances.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a police program or something, doesn't it? Damari and Fabrini.
Yeah. Good cop series that one. Yeah. Excellent. Fantastic.
Is that all we got? Was that the squad number game for this week?
That was the squad number game for this week.
Excellent.
There we go.
15, guys. Last 15.
Yeah, I think.
Is it?
I can't remember what it
Is it
was.
last 15?
Yes, it is last
So the last
15.
15. Are we on the last 15 already?
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
indeed.
West-
Blown by.
So this week, the last 15 is anything to do with songs and football.
Easy one.
So
Easy.
songs and football.
I expect at least within the next 15 minutes, 40.
Oh, yeah, easy. Like Dear Stern John.
Look, what was that, Mark?
Said Dear Stern John.
Dear Stern John.
What?
Here we go.
Oh, brr.
Well, I mean, I'll pass on one of Mr. Robe's ones, which was Duga Think I'm Sexy.
I like that one.
No.
No, we don't.
No, we don't like it at all, really.
No.
I just
Sexy
wanted
and how
to
you
say-
dyed your beard, to be fair. But
I haven't dyed it, honestly. It's a shadow. It's still a nice wispy coppery ginger.
I
But
think
it's just the shadow.
Mark or no deal. That could be a new.
Oh,
new
look
one
at
for
that
next
from
week.
Jason Hughes. Wonder Walcott.
Oh, yes. Very good. Yeah. Hey, Jude. Yeah. There we go. Brett Angels.
Yeah.
Brett
What about
Angel.
purple frame? What about purple frame?
Purple frame.
Frame.
I can't think. I was on fire the other. I can't think of one now.
Yeah.
I'll put in there Unloved Shack.
Just put on loving loads of stuff.
Yeah. What's Unlove got to do with it?
Hotter chocolate instead of hot
I
chocolate.
will always unlove you.
Here's Mark.
What about foot Bruce?
Foot Bruce, yeah.
Fuck Bruce.
Do you know the way to San Jose Amigos? Lulu skip off to my Lou. Let it Billick. Vindaloo Macari.
Vindaloo Macari.
Crocodile Hughes.
Yep.
Crocodile Hughes.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That is good. That is actually. I've got to give him that one.
That is very
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
It's very good.
Just Googled it.
That's two good ones
Like
in 6 months.
like blue suede juice.
What about the devil in disguise?
Yeah.
Definitely in disguise.
Better the devil in you know. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
As in Nicky Butt.
Was that a general statement, Chris?
Paul, just one for you that I know you like, but what about Paul Insomnia?
Decent. Yeah. Al, you got any?
He's gone to sleep.
Come on, Al.
Nah, he's thinking.
I'm sorry.
He's definitely thinking.
I sit here all day.
He's going to burst into song now and he'll start dancing and that.
Yeah. You can call me Al.
Oh, you're on fire.
You're
You are
definitely on sweet tonight, you are.
All you need is some love.
God, the drugs are
Oh,
working.
There you go.
Oh,
Sonner of 69.
What's that, Marks?
The Sonner of 69.
Donna.
Sonna,
Yeah.
Sonna. Yeah, clever.
Somebody's come up with the Chung song that I've had sent to me.
Chong, chong. That chong, 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 chong.
That's the one.
Jane Long and Winding Road.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like it.
that's a good one.
there's two in this one. Young Hearts Run Free.
That's a good one. That's clever.
Very, very clever.
What about Frank Sinatra, Flyway?
Oh, you've let yourself down there.
It's just, you're going worse.
Yeah.
Deli Agadoo Doo Doo.
I've been waiting all night for the deli.
It's got
He's there every week, Eddie Dele.
He's got to be, yeah. Bridge over Troubled White Side. I Just Can't Wait to Be. Marlon King. Home and Away. Norman Brightside. We got that one.
Wayne Bridge over Troubled Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. That's a lot better. That one.
Past
Black
the
Knights, White Satin.
past the Mucci on the left hand side.
Oh, that was
Yes,
okay.
that's a good one. Saw that.
It still
What
sounds.
about Bat Out of Hull?
Have you written all these down earlier?
No, on
I
it.
keep looking at a piece of paper. I can see you looking at something.
No,
Oh, you.
He's got them down and over on the sheet.
And here's us
No, it was
thinking
on
you
my
were
lunch
super
break. I did it on my lunch
intelligent.
break.
That was a good one, Mark Meredith. Get out of my dreams, get into my Stephen Carr. Oh, look at it.
Very
Legend.
good, yeah.
Robert
Roll over
Green,
Beethoven.
Grass of Home.
The what?
Robert Green, Grass of Home.
That's good. That is a good one. Yeah. Tell it to my heart.
I like this one as well. Build me up, but Cup. Too many broken Joe Hearts from Trevor John Smith. Yeah, that's a very good one.
I'm liking Andy Boner's one, which is Cotton, I Joe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Beck's on the beach as well from Adam was a good one.
Oh, was that from Mr. Wilkes?
The Wiltshire. Beck's on the beach.
Yeah.
I think I've got one, guys.
Oh, here we
Go on,
go.
Al.
Here we go. Let me get the popcorn out.
On the Tilton Road again.
Hang on, I'm still waiting. Oh, was that it? Oh, right, okay.
The road again. Don't tell me you've never heard of the song On the Road Again.
I have, yeah. I'm on the. I'll tell you, sung it as well. No, I won't. I'm on the road again.
Hang on, Matt.
No, I can't think of
On the road again.
We've got Adam Wilkes with Feeling hotter, hotter, hotter.
Here comes the sun.
What about walking on the Toon?
These are awful, aren't they? I'm sure I can't think
They're
of them.
terrible. These are Champagne Supernova.
Champagne Supernova.
That's a good one.
Good.
Well done. Well done.
I'll see what Pete Taylor did there. You know, Mbop. He's done. He's got Mbappe.
Oh yeah. Wow.
War knocking on heaven's door.
Or knocking on heaven's door. Yeah.
Probably the worst one.
Predictions for tomorrow and Friday, innit?
Yeah. Okay.
Can I start? I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1 tomorrow, and I think we'll win 2-0 on Friday.
Okay. Craig?
I fancy us to sneak it 1-0 tomorrow, and I think we could give QPR a spanking. So I'm actually going to say 4-0 for Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark, Meredith?
I don't see us winning at Preston. I think maybe we'll get a draw. I'll go 1-1, the same as Mark, and then I'll go 1-0 against QPR.
Okay, Alan?
I fancy us to bounce back. Preston haven't lost. They've got to. We did. They must. So I'll give us 1-0 tomorrow and 2-0 on Friday.
Love it. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to give us a 2-0 tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll be happy with the draw.
Draw on Friday against QPR?
Yeah.
Okay. We got a good record. We ain't done too bad at Preston of late, have we?
No, we've done decent record there.
I'll go 2-1 tomorrow to us, and I'll go 3-1 on Friday.
Yeah. I do think QPR league goals fun at the moment. So there's no easy games, but they're there for the taking.
Yeah. But these are usually the games, aren't they, where we...
Yeah, the games we expected to win, yeah.
We go down there with expectation.
Yeah.
We've had some great ones coming through on the show box, by the way. So, You're So Frayne by Carly Simon from Ray Opera.
Brilliant.
Pete Taylor's gone with Breakfast at Dougary's. Then Living La Vida Hogan from Lillipad.
Oh, I can see the winner.
Ray Hobro, is this the winner for you,
It's the
Chris?
winner for me, definitely.
Sugar Pie Ruddy Punch.
Sugar Pie Ruddy Punch.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Good on.
And some of the predictions coming through as well. So we got Benji Smith with 1-1 tomorrow, 3-1 Friday. Lilypad's gone for the same, as has Carol Sandland. Michael Woods, 2-1 to Blues tomorrow, 3-0 on Friday. Adam Wilkes said, thank you very much. Glad that we reminded him it was actually on Friday. Mike Hill has said 1-1 tomorrow, 2-0 Friday, 1-0 tomorrow, 2-1 Friday for John Bloor. 2-all tomorrow, Trevor John Smith. And Trevor, good to meet you yesterday. Thanks for the chat. Paul McCarthy, 0-0 tomorrow, 3-0 on Friday. Tom Kavanagh, 0-0 tomorrow, 2-1 on Friday. Trevor's also said 4-2 Friday. So
I can see clearly now the Chinese are gone.
Very good.
I also like Pete Taylor's Mwamba number 5.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw
I saw a good one from Ray. He's on form as well. Move on up, son. Move on up. Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Very good. Yep, Robbie Savage Garden. Good one as well.
Jason Hughes has gone for a double whammy with "You're the George best thing I have ever happened to Ben me."
Oh, I think that's the winner.
That's a good one. That is
Absolutely.
good.
Two players in there.
Yeah.
I've got one for you, Mark. Coming to a Meredith, James Browne.
I was waiting for the bit.
Living in Meredith.
It didn't even get a smile.
Oh, sorry, living in a Meredith.
Yeah, Eddie
Living in
Murphy.
America.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
I put my new hoodie on for you guys tonight as well. No one's seen
I noticed that. That's quite smart.
Quite smart, oh, yeah.
What's it
Didn't
say?
notice. I did notice.
Looks a bit tight.
Yeah.
It's 150 degrees. I got a hoodie on. That's why I'm sweating.
I can't see what it says. What does it say?
Legacy.
B12.
Oh, legacy.
Legacy B12.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm drinking rum and Steve Bull.
Yeah. What's that?
I'm drinking Red Bull. It is, but it's just Steve Bull.
On the owners' front, somebody made a real valid point earlier on the message board, which was when do you think we'll get to see them back at St Andrews? Because they haven't really been there since the first game. So I think as long as they do show their faces again in the near future, will keep things going. But the longer they stay away, and I appreciate there are businesses and other things going on, but the longer they stay away, the more it then becomes a questionable like it was before. I hope that's not the case. I don't think it will be, but let's hope to see them there soon.
Well, that's what they're paying Gary Cook for, isn't it? To be there day in, day out, and he's obviously representing them every single day and at every single game. And obviously with modern technology nowadays, i.e. Zoom and whatnot, I'm sure, and Teams, I'm sure they can still do a good job from afar anyway. But yeah. Anyway, don't turn around.
We've also Dom Kavanagh with tated love. Dave Twine, Zarati's the way I like it.
I'm not going to even say, Jason. Oh, I've gone. Itsy bitsy teens, weenie, yellow poker, dot Roy Keane.
What about Brucey in the sky with diamonds?
That's not bad.
That's good.
Yeah, Pete Taylor's definitely on form this evening because he's also gone with Blackstock's back.
Oh dear,
mate.
One's for you, Mark, in the Coventry slums.
Thing is, I 100% agree.
Oh dear. We do apologise to our Coventry viewers.
Actually, for Mark Adams, really, it should be Jailhouse Rock, but we won't go down that route.
I do like Don't Look Back in Ragnar. That's a good one.
Yeah. What about Brady in red?
Oh.
He was in red here, look. There you go.
That's in red, look, yeah.
In red.
That's where you've got it from, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've just got that. That's pretty good. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Mark Brooks, unloving the first Dougaree.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Excellent.
That Banana Rama, that's Banana Rama, wasn't it?
It was Banana Rama.
Oh, it's before my time.
What about Sunday, Ruddy Sunday?
Oh, that's a good one.
Waiting for the punchline.
Uptown Monk.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I like that one. Excellent.
He's on fire tonight, he's.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Pete, I want to know what book you've got, because wherever these are coming from, these are brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just nice, though, isn't it? Just going back onto the Blues for a minute, it's just nice to look forward to games, isn't it? You know, it's nice to going into games thinking we got a good chance of winning, you know, and doing well. It's just a completely different feel, isn't it, to what we've had?
Yeah, it's like we said before, Paul. It's not a chore anymore. You know, you go last season on autopilot almost, but it's enjoyable again.
Yeah. Okay, just remind people there's no show next week because I'll be sunning myself naked in Turkey, and we'll be back the week after. So it's good night from me, good night from Alan, it's good night from Craig. It's good night from Mark, and it's good night from the other Mark, and it's good night from Paul Ipkiss. Good night.
Good night.
And
Good night from John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.
Oh, don't start there, you bloke.
Good night, Craig.
Good night, Mark. See you,
Paul.
Good night, Billy Bob.
Night, Mark. Night, Chris.
Night, Chris.
Night, Craig.
Night, Alan.
Good night, Alan. Good night, Mark.
Turn the light off.
Did I say good night to Paul?
Everybody
Good night,
watching.
Paul.
Yeah, you did.
Night, all.
Good night, a bit.